Hi, everyone. Welcome back to A Life Well Spent, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kelly, and on this channel, I am tracking my financial journey. I belong to a specific bracket of income in America that I think is, a bracket that really struggles with money management. And I was kind of in that boat where I never felt like I didn't have enough money, but I would get to the end of the month and realize that I should have more left over because I wasn't really paying attention to how I was spending it. And some of that was because I really wasn't forced to. When you look at Americans and, the various financial studies that have come out and like say that Americans, a $400 emergency will put them in crisis. Um, and, I know a lot of people in my life, friends, family, things like that, who make decent money, but are still really struggling, and living paycheck to paycheck when they have larger paychecks than they should if they're living paycheck to paycheck, if that makes sense. So it got me thinking, like, I'm in that same boat. Like, make, I don't make loads of money by any means, but I make a lot more than a lot of other people. I mean, I'm not, somebody at the poverty line. I'm not, super duper rich. I'm think my salary is like $60,000 a year or something like that. So it's average for my area. It's average for my career. So it's not like I'm making a super duper ton of money, but for some people, $60,000 a year would absolutely change their lives because they're living more at like 25 or 30. So, I have the flexibility of being able to have more money to put towards different goals and things like that because of the career I have and the place that I work. And I've been very, very fortunate for that. But then that's made it harder for me to pay attention to my money. I think that, um, people who, and I think I said this in the last video, so I just kind of trying to introduce like what this channel would do for you. In my mind, like people who are living at the poverty line, like they know how to stretch their money. They know how to get the most bang for every dollar because they have to. It is a survival necessity. And so, a channel like this isn't necessarily going to be, I would learn from them. I don't know that they're necessarily going to be able to learn much of anything from me, um, until perhaps they move into a different income bracket and have a little bit more discretionary spending. But for me, this is kind of an average income, and I make enough to cover what I need, but need to be better about how I spend my money so that a $400 emergency doesn't put me into crisis. I am fortunately at a stage where that's not really an issue, but um, you know, I I think I could easily have fallen into that trap. I have friends who are in that boat right now, and have had to like dip into retirement and stuff, which you definitely never want to do if you can help it, right? But they had to, or they were going to lose their house. And sometimes it's just overspending, and it's saying like, well, I can afford a $300 a month car payment in terms of, yes, I can pay that bill every month, but can't really afford it because that money needs to go to something else. And so my channel is really kind of for the people that are in that boat of, I make enough money that I don't have to freak out about my money, but I need to be a better steward of my own money so that I have more financial security moving forward. So I will typically, at the end of a month, I will show you what my budget is going to be for the next month. When I get to the that next month, like with a couple days in, I usually go then wrap up my budget for the previous month. And I do weekly check-ins because I was doing budgets for myself, and my really difficult spending areas um, were restaurants, food, kind of entertainment, personal spending, that kind of thing. I used to do them in cash envelopes, which I loved. That was so easy for me to keep track of what I was doing. I didn't necessarily have to worry about like what I actually spent it on. I just knew that like, oh, hey, I only have $10 left in the personal fund. Um, and that made life a lot easier. And then the pandemic hit and I couldn't do that anymore for two reasons. One, I was buying stuff online now instead of like going physically to a store, but also I really didn't want to like handle cash. So then I was buying things online, but I wasn't tracking how much I was spending. Hence the weekly budget wrap ups. So that's what this is. I'm going to kind of go over what I spent in a week. Some weeks these videos are short. Some weeks they're longer. I am trying to get them under 15 minutes and under like 10 if it's a really like light spending week. And this week is a fairly light spending week. So without further ado, we will get into it. So this is the budget template I built. I'm still kind of playing around with it. I was using a different one before, and I kind of wanted something that helped me track sort of what I was spending when, not just what I was spending it on. And I wanted something that I could kind of put in order and sort of see what I was doing week to week. So I have already done the 1st through the 7th of March. So we'll start here with the 8th. And you'll see something that has to go to Comcast. $8.14. And water, $1.10. I underestimated my water, which I can't believe. I think my toilet must be running or something when I'm not here because I really don't think I use that much water. So I don't know. So anyway, I had to send them another $1.10. It's rare that I go over, so that's a bummer. Though now that I've said that, I think I've done that the last 2 months, so not sure what the deal is there. But nevertheless, there it is, 110. And then my Comcast bill, I guess I didn't look at it last month. 2 months ago, it actually went up in price. And I was always sending like an extra couple of dollars because I had like the initial rate, and then some months like the taxes would be a little lower, what have you. And then I guess I'm assuming starting in January or February, they must have changed one of the tax rates or the fees or something. And so I kind of was a little bit ahead. Like, what if I'd look at my bill, it always said like, minus $7.15 or something. And then I just figured, it's not a big deal. I could just apply that to another month in the future, and I wasn't really worried about it too much. And I guess I wasn't paying attention to the change. So I got a bill that said $8.14, and I was like, wait a minute, what? There's always like -8. Why is this not -8.14? I looked more closely, and yeah, had a couple fees go up, so that's annoying. So I had to send them more money, so I did. That's what those two are. I spent $12.97 on groceries on March 8th. I went to a gas station. That's what Sheetz is. For those of you who are not from Pennsylvania and don't know what a Sheetz is, I'm sorry for you. They're fantastic. So there's one down the, well, there's like 18 in every direction from me, but I had about half a tank of gas, and I know that I have to drive at least 40 minutes, about 40, 45 minutes away tomorrow. And I thought while I'm out, I will just do that. Get gas, get a full tank of gas, and that way I don't have to worry about dealing with it tomorrow, because I have a certification exam to take at like 8:30 in the morning. So it's a whole stressful day. I don't want to deal with gas. And so I just topped off my tank. And then I spent $15 from my car repair fund on washing my car because I live in Pennsylvania. And I think it's safe to say the snow is done for now. And we had a lot of snow this year, a lot of like cold wintry weather. And if you live in the north, you know that we put a lot of salt and stuff like that down on the roads just to kind of try to keep them as frozen water free as possible. Frozen water forms, whether that's ice or snow. We do that to try to keep the roads as clean as possible, but then that stuff always like kind of kicks up on your cars and whatnot. And so I just went to the automatic car wash and got my car washed. Mostly because I right now don't have the time or the energy to hand clean it myself. So there it is. Certainly not in March. So I went to the power wash, and they use this fancy like desalting stuff on it. So I went for the full kit and caboodle, and I don't regret it. Because again, I mean, that's what that car repair fund is for. I spent another $7.67 at the grocery store that same day, however, because I stupidly didn't get those things when I went before. I needed some items for something I was making for dinner, and when I went to get groceries earlier in the week, I was not planning ahead and I did not get them. So that one's on me. I did get paid. I got my tax refund. Yay! I'm pretty psyched. $246. I don't know if I can do that much better as far as calculating what my tax responsibilities are going to be. I try. I would actually rather pay in, to be honest, because that means that I've kept my money the whole time. And so I've got to see if I can try to adjust that somewhere. But I usually do my taxes in January, so I know like how much I'm going to get back, how much I'm going to owe, whatever. But like I want to hang on. Like I'm not going to give the government my money to just make some interest on. Like I'm going to make the interest on the money, and I'll pay you April 15th. I don't have a problem with that. So I'm glad that I'm not getting too much back, but I have to figure out maybe how I need to adjust that in the future. I am giving up my second job though, so I think that might change some things up. I don't know. I've got to actually like sit down and kind of calculate out what that's going to look like. Got paid from both jobs. This is my second to last paycheck at the part-time job. I gave it up. I'm very excited for it. I'm glad to get my life back. It was causing me a lot of stress and anxiety and things that I really didn't need to deal with. I've met two of my financial goals. I am working on paying off my student loan debt. I figure, heck with it, doing it, getting rid of it. The next bit of income I have, my mother paid me for her cell phone. So we have a shared cell phone. We have a shared cell phone plan through Comcast, and if you have the ability to do Xfinity Wireless, they use Verizon's towers. So if Verizon is decent in your area, and you have the ability to do the Xfinity Mobile, like do it. It's so cheap. It's amazing. So my mom actually was making payments on her phone. And a couple of months ago, I was telling a friend about Xfinity Mobile, and I pulled up my account and I kind of showed her like the different lines, and I looked at my mom's thing really quick and I said, here, see, this is how much she owes. And I'm like, oh man, she only has like 5 payments or 6 payments or something left. And I remember that I was with my mom yesterday, and I said something to her about, your phone's almost paid off. And she went, really? How many payments do I have left? How much is left on it? I looked at it and I said, oh, looks like it's like $100.03 or $100.06. I can just look below. And she said, oh, I will send you the money right now and you pay it off right now and then it's done. I said, okay, no problem. So she put the money in my account for that and for some flour that I got her, which does not cost $20. I'm not really sure why she gave me the extras other than, well, I'm sure I owe you something somewhere. So I guess that covers her cell phone account or her iCloud storage that she put on my card instead of hers. That was only 99 cents. It doesn't cover that either. So anyway, there it is. So then I made the payment to the phone, to the actual payment piece, for the phone, not just for the bill. So that's squared away, which is nice. And that will actually bring down what we're paying every month. In fact, if I look at my phone, I've already like made the calculation. That's what I love about it so much. It's so stinking cheap. We do shared data, because right now, like with the pandemic and, my dad was in a pretty bad accident. For the last 3 years, we've gone to work, we've gone to the hospital, and we've gone home. And we've got access to free Wi-Fi in all of those places. So let's see right now. Yeah, our balance so far is $36. So we pay by the gig and we do 1 gig because we're almost always on Wi-Fi. And we rarely go over that. The only time we ever really come close to doing that is when we have to use the navigation to go somewhere. That's it. And it's $12 a gig. So we split the $12. We each have $12 of insurance on our phone, so we split that, or we each pay that. We split the fees. So I was paying around 22-ish dollars. So I imagine that'll be what she pays unless the fee structure has changed a little bit, but super cheap. So that'll be fun. I'll have to remember that actually next month when I go to. I wonder if I should put that in my notes. Okay. I went to a place that's we call it the country store. I don't think that's its actual name, but that's what we call it. I got some groceries, $17.64. I got my mother's aforementioned flour. And I bought some stuff for me. I needed to get kosher salt. I have a little like salt, a little salt server, and that's literally all the salt that I had left. So I needed to get myself a box there. They have great prices on like bulk goods and stuff. So I got that. I got some macaroni because I eat macaroni a lot and I was out. I had like a quarter of a cup of it left, which is not enough to do anything with. And some other things. I got some chocolate to make Easter eggs, some like melting chocolate. So 17.64 spent on that, and $2.64 spent on Craftsy. I had an offer to try Craftsy Premium for an entire year for $2.49 or something like that. That's the total with tax. And I said, yeah, I'll try that. So I put a note in here so that I know when it renews, and so that next March, when I go to look at planning my March budget. So what I do typically is like when I'll go to make my April budget, I will look at last year's April budget and like the year before and kind of see like what notes I have in there, what things I need to think about. That's how I help track stuff to make sure I know like if it's going to renew and I want to renew it, then to plan to pay for it or to cancel it if I want to cancel it. So that's that. And here's my weekly tracking. So I spent $9.24 in house and utilities. Very annoyed. Very annoyed at myself for that. And then I spent $176.87 in other things. I did not include my mother's phone purchase in there because it's not really my expense. It's just what came out. And included in this, or not included in this rather, I don't include any debt payments there. So when I paid my student loan bill at the beginning of the month, that's not included on that. So we will see how I do in week 3. I can tell you right now, I am going out to eat after my test tomorrow. There is an amazing restaurant up very close to where I need to test. And I am going to go in there and get some takeout. They do have seating outside and they might actually have it open. So I may just sit and eat outside, but I may not. I might just do takeout. I love it. It is a brewery. I may even take my growler and get some beer to see what they have available. But yeah, that's the plan. I think I'm going to need it after this test because I get test anxiety. I don't know about anybody else, but I do. I'm not a great test taker. I'm really not. And this test has like 4 essays. And another thing I'm really not good at is writing on the spot. I'm a good writer when I've been able to take the time to kind of develop my ideas and think out loud. I oftentimes like voice typing is the bomb for me because I will often just turn the voice typing on or even just an audio recording and I will kind of talk through my argument or talk through my ideas. And the more I talk and the more I do, like the better it gets and the more I can kind of hone in on a strong argument. I will not have the time to do that on this test. In fact, I was told you don't have time to do much of any writing, so you have to kind of sit and bullet point. And I thought, oh my God, look, my brain will freeze up. That's what it does. I will think 2 hours later of like the perfect response and I will just want to kick myself so hard. So with that in mind, I am going to wrap this video up now so that it can get posted and I do not have to think about it anymore and I can spend the rest of the evening psyching myself up for this test and kind of doing a last minute crash course. I don't know. I don't want to have to take it again. This thing costs almost $500, but I'm so stressed out about it. I'm in like shutdown mode over it. So I don't really know what to do. Take it, try it. I will be going out to eat later after it. So I'm definitely going to have that expense next week. I may also have some expense for some seed starting equipment. I think I do want to start seeds for some things that I'm going to put in hanging baskets. Hanging baskets are so amazingly expensive, but they're also a great way to like create a really good look outside your house if you're going to sell. And I might be in that boat. So I figure I just start some seeds and I can kind of constantly refresh what's in the baskets, and that would be better and it would look nicer. So I think I'm going to do that, but I won't. I actually may do that Monday because there is also there's a Home Depot and a Lowe's and a Walmart up where I'm going to be I go up like I'm going up. No. Um where I'm taking my test up that direction, there are all of those. So I think I can probably get all of the equipment that I need. Um and so I will probably do that Monday after my test as well. And then I don't really know that I need any other expenditures for the week. I did get groceries today, so I haven't tracked that yet because that'll be on next week's video anyway. But yeah, unless I decide to go get groceries again on Saturday instead of Sunday, there might be some of that in there, but I don't see much of a need for many more expenses. So that'll be really cool. I am, however, trying to talk myself off the ledge. I could use some support, so go ahead and leave me some encouragement in the comments to not buy a VR headset. Because there are some games that use VR headsets that look awesome. And I've gone down a weird YouTube rabbit hole of watching people play them. Like the one that's like you're ghost hunting. That sounds amazing, and I absolutely want to play this game. And I don't know anybody who has this equipment, so it's not like I can just call somebody up and be like, "Yo, I'm coming over to like hop on the VR." But I am so unbelievably tempted to buy these things. Like, I'm so glad that they are pretty dang expensive, um, because that's really helping me talk myself off the ledge. But I'm so I really feel like if I find them on sale or I find like if somebody gave me an Amazon gift card to cover like a portion of it or something, I would just completely snap them up and buy them. And that would be bad. That'd be very bad. There are other things that are going to be more important to buy, like a bed and a new mattress. See what I mean when I say I need help? I need to be held accountable for my spending when I make enough money to not have to freak out about whether or not I will have enough money to get through the month. I don't have that problem. So it's harder for me to keep on track and make responsible financial decisions. So yeah. If you like what you see here, like and subscribe. It is a lot of this. And mostly because I'm going through the graduate program that I'm getting that certification for. I just really haven't had time to do much of anything. So right now it's a lot of screencasting and a lot of like me, I guess I can kind of full screen here, a lot of like me just talking at you. And not a lot of fancy whatever. Like I probably would have edited out about 10 minutes of this video if I was actually taking the time to do that. I just don't have that time right now. And I figured I would rather just start and let it be what it is. Because if I wait until I actually have the time and the equipment and things like that to make it of a quality that I would prefer, I might never get around to doing it. So imperfect start is better than no start at all, right? I guess. I'll see you next time.